guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverly. It's really nice to see you today. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of wanted to talk about something that I've really been into recently. If any of you follow me on social media at all, and I really hope you will, links are down below. But if you do follow me on social media, you will all know that just recently I've really gotten into crystals. So over the last few months I've really got into them. I always, my whole life, have collected stones. There's pictures of me when I was like 18 months old or 2 years old, something like that, with a basket full of stones, and I was walking towards the beach and my parents took a picture of me. I always just collected stones. They've been a love of my whole life. Everywhere I go, if there's a beach, I will go and look for stones. It's just one of those things. I don't know what it is about certain stones that I just love, but I do. And then when I was a kid, a bit older than that, probably about 9, 10, something like that, I started buying the little tumblestone crystals. Let me show you. So I started collecting tumblestone crystals. These are tumblestones. They're very small, probably about the size of the top of your thumb, something like that. And you can get them in any kind of crystal at all, and fossils and other kinds of things as well. But I started collecting those because they're relatively cheap and they're easy to care for. I used to keep them in a little pouch under my pillow and play with them when I was anxious, which was 98% of the time. Not much has changed. But I recently rediscovered this love of crystals and stones. I started learning about the real meaning behind the stones. Before it was always just like, oh, they're pretty, they're shiny, they're sparkly, and I'm a bit of a magpie, give me all the stones. But now it's more of, I like to know the reason behind. Notebook that I got from Amazon. I'll leave a link to this notebook down below. It's really cool. And I take lots of notes about all the different crystals, how to take care of them, what they're like, or everything. And I keep it in this really handy dandy thing. What is good is you can take the pages out and rearrange them. So if I find like, oh, this note will go better next to this note, I can rearrange them. Yeah, there's a lot of information when it comes to crystals. So what I've been doing is just kind of researching very specific things at the moment. I've just been enjoying taking in this information again, learning, growing as a person, and just really reconnecting with this love that I've always had. I don't know where it comes from, maybe a past life, who knows. But it's just a great passion of mine, and I find myself loving it all again. I surround myself with crystals now. I buy them relatively cheaply from usually places like Etsy. There are also a couple of shops that I have online. I will leave links to those down below. You don't have to spend a fortune on crystals to get what you need out of them, if that makes sense. So there are 5 main ways that I've brought crystals into my daily life. I think you can just collect them because you really like them and they're pretty and sparkly. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's important to know that there are actually ways that you can use them in your everyday life to just make your life a little bit better. So the first way is anxiety. This little stone here is amethyst, and it has a Viking compass on it, which is supposed to help you focus and find your direction in life. I'm kind of at a spiritual crossroads at the moment, and I kind of feel like I'm feeling the world out, feeling how things are, trying to find my place. This has been helping so much. When I get nervous or anxious, I can just rub it or hold it. I take it with me if I've got like a doctor's appointment or something. It's really great for just calming you down. I absolutely love this for that. They do things called thumb stones, which are really good. They're slightly thicker than this, and they have like a groove in them so you can fit your thumb. But I quite like feeling the pattern. So you can find either. It's basically, you can use crystals however you want to use them, which I really love. They can fit into your life in so many different ways, and I really like that, I really do. So the second thing is meditation. Now, I meditate every day. I meditate anytime between like 15 minutes and an hour, depending on my day, depending on what I'm doing. A lot of these crystals I will hold while I'm meditating. This is a clear crystal, which is like an everything stone. Basically, it covers all the bases. If you're gonna just have one stone, have this. This crystal point I will hold with the point towards me in my non-dominant hand. I have to think about it, which is my left, which is my right, because that's your receiving hand. And then you can feel the vibration in it. I can feel it now. And while you meditate, holding something just helps you focus. It helps me stay grounded in the moment and stay focused. I pick a different crystal every day. It might be a little tumble stone, it might be one of these, but I pick something different every day. I find that it just really helps ground me down to the moment and help me not to get too lost in things, and I can easily just hold on to it. And I tend to cling to things. I have a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression, a lot of negative thoughts, and when you're trying to meditate, all those thoughts come rushing in. It's like when you're trying to go to sleep. So I find holding something gives me something to focus on, so it really does help. The third reason I use them, and I have them decorating the main room, our living room, and I also have them in my bedroom. But you have to be careful what crystals you put in your bedroom, because some will keep you awake all night and some will give you like very vivid dreams. So you have to be very careful. But I use it to kind of keep the flow of the room nice, help me to feel relaxed. It keeps the energy in the room up, the vibration up. I sound like such a hippie. I always was like, what? But yeah, it helps just the room to feel nice. People have commented a lot since I've put my crystals out around the room that, oh, it feels really nice in here. And I'm like, I know, it does, doesn't it? So it does really, really help. And I just love that. I really do. I just think it's so nice to know that your room feels nice, that the house has a nice energy to it. I think it's like, you know, when people say they're going to buy a house and they walk in, they just know immediately this is my house or this is not going to be my house from the energy in the room. It's that sort of thing, to try and put it into layman's terms or into a way that anybody would understand. That's how I understand it. The next thing is focus mindfulness. Mindfulness is really hard. I've been trying to be mindful for years now. It's when you don't get lost in your thoughts and daydream. It's when people say, oh, I drove home and I don't know how I got home. Or I'll be in the middle of a conversation and suddenly I'll realise I have no idea what you just said and I have no idea what I just said. I've got no clue what's going on. That's when you're not in the moment, you're not mindful. And it made me really sad when I first learned about mindfulness. I was like, how much of my life have I just kind of daydreamed through and missed moments, times with people who now have left us to move on to their next life, you know? How many times have I missed out on times? And it makes me really sad to think about. But now I'm working so hard to try and be mindful. And one of the main things is this little guy. I've always got this on me somewhere. I've always got a crystal in my pocket. I'm always carrying a crystal. I sometimes tuck them in my bra. That's something a lot of people do. If you haven't got any pockets, just tuck it in your bra. But it just really grounds you, the same as it does when you've got, when you're meditating. It can just really bring you into the moment and help you just to kind of stay with the moment, stay in the room, stay right here and right now, instead of getting lost in everything. And it really does help. I've done a video about mindfulness before, so I will link to that up there and down there. So if you wanted to learn more about mindfulness, you can. And the last way is to help my symptoms. If you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know that I suffer with chronic illnesses, and I have bracelets, crystal bracelets. My husband has epilepsy, and I got a bracelet made for him with the beads were made of things that will help epilepsy symptoms, and I'm saving up to get one made for my illnesses. I just really feel like sometimes you just kind of need something natural. It's a part of the earth. God's given us this earth with loads of herbs and flowers and plants, and they all seem to cure something. So why are we so disbelieving of the fact that these things can help us? It took me a long time to get my head around that. From what I can understand, it's because each stone has a different vibration. So this vibrates at a different level to this. Everything vibrates. That's just basic physics. I think it's physics. Everything's got energy and it all moves, and everything moves at different speeds. Anyway, so they affect your body in different ways. I know in Los Angeles you can go to these like rooms that are made completely of certain crystals, and you can like go and spend like spa time, like just chilling out in rooms completely made of crystal, or completely made of what do you call that stuff, Himalayan salt crystals and things like that, which I just think is incredible. Yeah, I think we're starting to come back to realise, okay, we've kind of taken a left turn and avoided all of these things that are naturally around us. And I'm really enjoying learning about different illnesses and how crystals and essential oils can possibly help. This is something that I'm really interested in. It's really captured my imagination. I was a nurse before I got sick, so I know a lot about, you know, the basics of the human body. Obviously it was years ago, so I don't know everything, but you know, once I start reading about something, I'm like, oh yeah, and I know the basics. So I'm really enjoying getting back into like learning about different illnesses and how they affect the body, and how little stones might be able to help. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's real, or is it just a placebo effect? It could be, but either way, if it makes me feel better, I'm gonna do it. Anyway guys, do let me know down below if you're a crystal fan. Yeah, if you're into crystals, we need to be friends, so leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. I think it's really funny that a lot of people wear crystals without realising. Like if you've got a diamond ring, you're wearing a crystal. If you've got an amber necklace, you know, they can all do something. And so there's a lot of jewellery out there that has crystals in them that you can use in a really positive way to help yourself. So I would love to get chatting with you guys about that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be amazing. And if you would like more content like this, definitely hit that little subscribe button, ring that little bell, so you always know when I upload. I upload every Monday and every Friday, unless I'm sick, which sometimes happens, such is life with chronic illness. But I'm definitely going to be doing a giveaway when I get to 500 subscribers, and I'm hoping to do that by Halloween. So if you're not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate if you would hit that little bell. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back on Friday. Bye!